If you think rest is a reward for hard work, you're doing it wrong. Rest isn't what you do when you're tired. It's what you do to stay powerful, focused, and resilient. In a world obsessed with hustle, mastering the art of intentional rest is what separates burnout from breakthrough. This isn't about sleeping more or doing less. It's about resting right so you can show up sharper, stronger, and truly unstoppable. Rest and laziness are often misunderstood and mistakenly used interchangeably, yet they are fundamentally different in intention, impact, and execution. Rest is a conscious, restorative activity aimed at replenishing energy, improving focus, and supporting mental and physical health. It is a proactive strategy to sustain long-term productivity, creativity, and well-being. In contrast, laziness is a passive state often rooted in avoidance, procrastination, or a lack of motivation. While rest is empowering and strategic, laziness can be draining and detrimental over time. Intentional rest is grounded in awareness. It means you understand your energy cycles and deliberately take time to recharge. For example, after a few hours of deep work or high emotional stress, taking a 15-minute walk or a short nap can reset your mental clarity. In this context, rest serves a clear purpose. It prepares you to re-engage with your responsibilities in a more focused and effective way. It is structured, often time-bound, and ideally part of a planned routine or system. On the other hand, laziness often disguises itself as rest, but it lacks structure and direction. It's the kind of aimless downtime that leads to guilt, wasted time, and even more exhaustion. Scrolling endlessly on your phone, binge-watching shows to escape tasks, or lying in bed all day without purpose can feel like rest in the moment, but it rarely brings a mental or physical reset that true rest provides. Instead, it can perpetuate cycles of inaction and self-doubt. The mindset behind rest versus laziness also differs. Rest is chosen with the understanding that you are investing in yourself. It's a form of self-care and discipline. People who rest intentionally often return to work or life with more clarity, better mood, and stronger performance. Conversely, laziness typically stems from a mindset of avoidance, escaping discomfort, challenge, or responsibility. It leads to stagnation rather than renewal. Recognizing the difference begins with honest self-assessment. Ask yourself, am I resting to recover, or am I avoiding something? Do I feel better after this break, or more frustrated and tired? The answers to these questions help distinguish whether your pause is nourishing or numbing. It's also helpful to observe your patterns. If you're taking frequent breaks but still feel unproductive, it may be a sign that your rest is unstructured or that laziness is creeping in. Creating a routine that incorporates intentional rest is a powerful antidote to burnout. Set clear boundaries around your rest periods, avoid multitasking during them, and choose activities that genuinely help you recover, like reading, stretching, breathing exercises, or connecting with nature. Rest should leave you feeling more energized, not more depleted. By learning to respect rest as a vital component of high performance and not confusing it with laziness, you empower yourself to work smarter, not harder. Effective rest is a discipline that high achievers embrace, not a weakness to avoid. Understanding and practicing this distinction is a game changer for sustained success and well-being. The effectiveness of rest is not determined solely by how much time you take off, but by the quality of that rest. Many people assume that more rest automatically means better recovery, yet this isn't always true. Rest that is distracted, anxious, or filled with low-value activities can leave you feeling just as drained or even more exhausted than when you started. In contrast, a short but mindful and well-executed rest can dramatically recharge your mental and physical energy. Quality rest is intentional and immersive. It involves disconnecting from stressors and allowing your nervous system to reset. For instance, taking a 15-minute break in silence, away from screens, where you close your eyes or focus on your breath, can restore clarity much more effectively than spending an hour scrolling through social media. The body and mind need space to slow down and shift from the high alert, fight or flight mode to a calm, regenerative state. This is where true rest happens, when your system is no longer overstimulated. One of the biggest misconceptions about rest is that duration is everything. While long breaks are occasionally necessary, it's often how you spend those breaks that matters more. Someone can spend an entire weekend doing nothing, yet still feel mentally foggy and fatigued on Monday. This is because the brain was never given a chance to unplug in a meaningful way. Shallow rest, such as background TV, social media consumption, or multitasking, keeps the brain engaged and doesn't allow it to reset. Deep rest, on the other hand, comes from deliberate choices like deep breathing, walking in nature, taking a nap, or engaging in a hobby that brings peace and joy. Short bursts of high-quality rest can be strategically placed throughout your day to enhance productivity and focus. Known as ultradian rhythm breaks, these 10 to 20-minute periods of rest every 90 to 120 minutes of work allow your brain to recharge its attention span and decision-making capacity. Even just stepping outside to breathe fresh air or lying down with your eyes closed can have a profound effect if done mindfully. The key is presence, being fully engaged in the act of resting, not distracted or half in, half out. Sleep is another area where quality is far more crucial than quantity alone. Someone who sleeps for 8 hours but wakes up frequently or has poor sleep hygiene may feel worse than someone who gets 6 hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep. Optimizing rest means creating an environment conducive to real restoration. Dim lighting, no screens, calm surroundings, and activities that promote a sense of peace rather than stimulation. Ultimately, it's about being intentional with how you rest and ensuring it serves a purpose. Whether it's mental clarity, physical recovery, or emotional balance, rest should have a goal, and when done right, even a few minutes can be transformative. Choosing fewer, higher quality breaks throughout the day consistently outperforms long, unfocused downtime. It's not about doing less. It's about recovering better. Active rest is a powerful and often overlooked form of recovery that revitalizes both the body and mind without requiring complete stillness or inactivity. Unlike passive rest, which may involve sitting or lying down with minimal movement, active rest involves light, low-intensity activities that promote circulation, reduce stress, and enhance mental clarity. These activities do not strain the system, but instead stimulate gentle engagement, allowing for physical recovery while keeping the mind alert and focused. Light exercise is one of the most effective forms of active rest. Activities such as walking, stretching, yoga, or leisurely bike rides help increase blood flow, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to tired muscles and assists in the removal of metabolic waste. This improves recovery, especially after intense work or physical exertion. For people who sit for long periods, a brief walk or standing stretch can re-energize the body, improve posture, and boost concentration far more effectively than simply remaining sedentary. Beyond physical benefits, active rest significantly contributes to mental well-being. Gentle movement, especially in nature, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels, lower anxiety, and elevate mood. Activities like gardening, light swimming, or even dancing casually in your living room can serve as therapeutic outlets, offering both relaxation and joy. These experiences engage the parasympathetic nervous system, encouraging calmness and helping to shift the mind away from stressors or overthinking. Creative hobbies also fall into the category of active rest. Engaging in activities such as drawing, playing a musical instrument, journaling, or crafting can offer soothing mental escape while maintaining light cognitive stimulation. These pursuits can serve as emotional release valves, helping to process emotions or simply refresh mental energy. Unlike watching TV or scrolling through phone, which often leaves the brain overstimulated and fatigued, creative activities provide a productive outlet that restores focus and inner balance. The effectiveness of active rest lies in its dual benefit, providing renewal without complete disengagement. This makes it especially valuable for people who struggle to sit still or switch off entirely. Active rest helps to ease the transition between high-output work and deeper recovery states, creating a smoother rhythm in one's day. It also offers a sense of accomplishment, making rest feel purposeful rather than indulgent, which is important for those with driven or high-performance mindsets. Integrating active rest into a daily routine doesn't require much time. Just 10 to 15 minutes of intentional movement or light activity every few hours can vastly improve how the rest of the day unfolds. It enhances cognitive performance, boosts creativity, and helps regulate energy levels more evenly. Rather than experiencing an energy crash, individuals can maintain momentum while still honoring their need for restoration. The versatility of active rest makes it adaptable to any lifestyle, It can happen at home, in the office, or even during commutes with mindful walking or gentle mobility movements. Making active rest a consistent habit creates a sustainable cycle of energy input and output, helping individuals avoid burnout while still staying productive and engaged. Rest is most effective when it is planned and treated with the same importance as other high-priority tasks. Many people allow rest to happen only when there's leftover time, which often results in inconsistent or inadequate recovery. By contrast, when rest is scheduled intentionally, just like meetings, workouts, or deadlines, it becomes a dependable source of renewal rather than an afterthought. This simple shift in mindset helps build a sustainable rhythm of energy use and restoration. High performers and successful individuals often schedule rest deliberately because they understand its value in maintaining long-term productivity. This approach treats rest as a proactive measure to enhance performance, not a reactive response to exhaustion. It's not about waiting until burnout strikes, but rather anticipating the need for breaks before fatigue sets in. Just as a well-maintained machine runs better with timely servicing, the human body and mind perform more consistently when they're given regular, planned opportunities to recharge. Time blocking is an effective strategy for scheduling rest. This involves setting aside specific time slots in your calendar for breaks, short naps, relaxation, or activities that help you mentally disconnect from work. These time slots are non-negotiable and should be honored just like a business appointment or a workout session. By giving rest a defined place in your daily structure, you reduce the temptation to skip it in favor of just one more task, which often leads to diminishing returns. Micro breaks during the workday are just as important as longer rest periods. Scheduling short breaks, every 60 to 90 minutes, can dramatically increase focus, reduce errors, and improve overall cognitive performance. These breaks don't need to be long. Even 5 to 10 minutes of stepping away from a screen, standing up, or engaging in a different type of activity can refresh mental energy and restore attention. The key is to make them a consistent part of your workflow, rather than something you do only when you're already mentally drained. Longer periods of rest, such as weekends, evenings, and vacations, also benefit from structure. Planning downtime in advance allows you to fully disconnect without guilt or uncertainty. Whether it's a weekend hike, a planned day off, or a 30-minute slot in the evening to read or reflect, having rest on the calendar creates a psychological signal that you're allowed to pause. This not only reduces stress, but also enhances the quality of your relaxation because it's anticipated and protected. When rest is scheduled, it's easy to track how often you're actually giving yourself time to recharge. This awareness helps prevent overworking and builds accountability. It also sends a powerful message to yourself and others that your well-being is a priority. In high-demand environments, this kind of intentional rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity for sustained output, emotional balance, and mental clarity. Treating rest as a high-value task ultimately transforms it into a strategic tool for performance and resilience. The body is a sophisticated system constantly sending signals about its current state. Physical tension, mental fog, irritability, restlessness, and fatigue are all forms of communication. Learning to recognize and respond to these cues is essential for effective rest and long-term performance. Ignoring them can lead to burnout, chronic stress, and decreased productivity, while honoring them allows for timely recovery and greater resilience. Fatigue is one of the most common indicators that rest is needed, but often manifests in subtle ways before full exhaustion sets in. Difficulty concentrating, making small mistakes, losing patience, or feeling emotionally flat are early warning signs. These symptoms are not random. They are built-in mechanisms alerting the brain and body that their current output is unsustainable without a break. The challenge is that in a culture that glorifies overwork, these signs are frequently dismissed or overridden in the name of productivity. Instead of pushing through, tuning in can be a game changer. When your mind starts to wander more than usual, or when simple tasks start to feel overwhelming, a short pause can reset your attention and clarity. This might mean taking a 10-minute walk, doing breathing exercises, stretching, or simply sitting quietly without input. Responding at this early stage prevents fatigue from deepening and supports a more consistent level of energy throughout the day. Sleep patterns also offer insight into whether you are resting effectively. Difficulty falling asleep, waking frequently, or not feeling refreshed after sleep often point to unaddressed stress or insufficient daily recovery. These sleep disturbances are signs the nervous system isn't calming down fully, suggesting that rest isn't just needed at night. It needs to be built into the daytime routine as well. Naps, mindful breathing, or even structured downtime can help reset this balance. Mood swings and emotional reactivity are other important cues. If small inconveniences trigger strong emotional responses, it's likely that your emotional reserves are depleted. Emotional fatigue often precedes physical exhaustion and can be a more sensitive measure when to slow down. Taking time to rest before these emotions spiral helps to reset your emotional baseline and fosters greater patience and emotional intelligence. Physical tension in the neck, shoulders, back, or jaw is another clear indicator. When rest is ignored, the body often holds stress in these areas, creating tightness and discomfort. Gentle movement or rest practices like progressive muscle relaxation, yoga, or foam rolling can signal safety to the nervous system and trigger a relaxation response. These physical practices also enhance awareness, making it easier to detect signs earlier in the future. Responding to the body's signals requires mindfulness and practice. Keeping a journal, setting reminders to check in with how you feel, or tracking energy levels throughout the day can help build this awareness. Over time, you'll become more skilled at recognizing when you're operating at your best and when it's time to pause. This self-awareness becomes a superpower, allowing you to manage energy, emotions, and attention with greater precision and purpose. Rest is not a weakness. It's a weapon. When used intentionally, it sharpens your mind, restores your energy, and fuels the kind of sustained performance that hustle alone can't deliver. By understanding the difference between rest and laziness, prioritizing quality over quantity, embracing active recovery, scheduling rest like a non-negotiable task, and tuning into your body's signals, you unlock a level of clarity, strength, and focus that makes you truly unstoppable. Rest right, not just more, and you won't just keep going. You'll rise, thrive, and lead with power.